Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Madam Secretary, I want to first thank you for your continuing commitment to the exploration of the potential of geothermal energy in the Northern Marianas, particularly on the island of CSpan. Let me ask you, I have some other questions that I'll probably insert and ask for a response, but for now, the close-up program brings island students to Washington each year to learn how their government works, actually a government that they don't have direct participation on. We don't vote for president, their delegate doesn't have a vote. But it is a valuable use of federal grant funds. In fact, several of my colleagues in the Northern Marianas Congressional Office got interested in government through Close-Up. And your Office of Insular Affairs had recognized that Close-Up is a program that is, quote, necessary on an ongoing basis for the insular areas, quote, and because there was no other source of funds in the federal budget, end quote. That's a quote from the OIA budget justification for 2016, 2015, 2014, and 2013. And Close-Up had a specific line item of $1.1 million in your fiscal year 16 proposal. But for fiscal year 17, OIA has dropped any reference to Close-Up, and I'm not sure what to make of that, but it is troubling. So I would like to receive today, Madam Secretary, that even though there's no specific mention in your budget documents, the Office of Insular Affairs will continue to use technical assistance funds to support Close-Up in fiscal year 2017 at the level that the program needs, and I can speak for my colleagues that the representative from American Samoa, Guam, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the Northern Marianas has actually wrote to your Assistant Secretary asking for that commitment. We've got no response, so I'm going to ask you today.
I believe we have $1 million in the budget for the Close-Up program, but I'll have to check with Esther Kia-Aina to provide more specifics.
Because she has not responded to a letter, which is why if she had responded, I wouldn't be asking.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Secretary, on another issue, the fiscal year omnibus appropriation authorized a special resource study on the island of Rota to see if it would be feasible to have a national park there. There's something I worked to achieve since my very first year in Congress. So I would like to hear from you that the study has started, has begun as scheduled, and that you have the money you need in your fiscal year 17 proposal to keep the Rota Park study moving forward and on schedule.
And I don't have an answer to that either. I'm sorry, I'll have to look into that. Specifically for Rota, I haven't seen whether it's specifically in the budget or just contained within the National Park Service broadly. So we'll get back to you.
Okay, I have very little time left. We have in the Northern Marianas the American Memorial Park dedicated to the war on Saipan and in the Northern Marianas. So we recently had a devastating typhoon last August. Electricity and water services are restored, schools are in session, life is really getting back to normal. I have been on 2 visits, and I am hearing from constituents, however, that the American Memorial Park, which the Park Service manages, has been slow to clean up debris, repair damage, and get the park fully open to the public. So I would like to ask, what may be the problem? Is it a money issue? Is it because the park is supervised from Guam, and that means an extra layer of decision-making? What can we do to speed things up, Madam Secretary?
We'll follow up with the Park Service directly. We are constrained for resources, but I was not aware of that until you just brought it up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And again, finally, I guess, well, not finally, the Interagency Group on Insular Affairs, IGIA, on which you co-chair met last week. I was traveling and not able to attend. I think the concept of a White House-led response to the needs of the insular areas is great. I really do. But I'm concerned about results. I have never seen a report on what the outcome of these IGA meetings has been. Are the problems the island governors raised being addressed? Are the governors satisfied with the results? Is the IGA process working? I don't know. So I would like to ask if your office could provide me with a report on the problems the governors have raised at IGIA over the last 7 years, and what the outcomes have been. Have we gotten results? Would that be possible, Madam Secretary?
I'll be happy to ask Insular Affairs to do that. I was at the last IGA.